All right, so let's real quick do our goals for 2025 and where we want to go.
Oh, crap.
Because I'm going to put that in the background.
Our goals?
No, the background for the show. The green
Where
screen.
we want to go.
Oh.
So I told Laura, if she says Kingman, I'm going to put Kingman behind her.
Kingman, Arizona.
All standby passengers, see me at the podium with your seat assignment.
Non Rev Lounge is a travel and aviation podcast. Monique, Laura, and Tyler are three friends that work for a major airline as gate agent, flight attendant, and ramp worker. During this podcast, they will discuss using their flight benefits to travel the world, as well as talk about things that happen at work. They have guests on almost every week to share their travels and stories, leaving tips on the best places to travel or things to do. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Non Rev Lounge. I'm Monique.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Tyler.
And we're all together.
Finally, back in your house. The first time this year.
Yep.
Is it good or is it not good?
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
We prefer to be together, Monique
Yeah,
and I.
I
I
like-
can't say the same thing about you.
Well, even last night, Tanya and I were talking, and she goes, Laura's your best friend.
See? So we're fine with it.
I'm just the outsider.
A little bit. Well, you do have to drive a ways to get over here, though.
That's okay.
It's because you have a play the game penis. You have to say it a little bit louder each time.
So
This is how the penis game goes. You say penis, and then you say it a little bit louder.
And then the last person has to yell it.
So last week when we had Tim on, and I pointed out afterwards when I was editing, I said, I think that's the first time anyone said penis on our podcast.
Oh, really?
Because he was talking about when they were the covers.
Well, I think even I was like,
Yeah. So I asked Laura, I said, are we going to play the game now? She was excited.
When I substitute taught at the high school, the kids would play that game on me all the time.
what do you mean on you?
Like I would be like the teacher in class, and all of a sudden I'd hear a little tiny penis.
Oh.
Then I hear penis, penis. Then you get louder and louder. I go, really? Are we going to play the penis game? And they go, oh, she said that. She said the penis word.
We say, unless you can say it in Spanish. I don't want to hear it.
Thank you.
Can you?
Conejo, right?
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was editing it. Thanks, Tim, for being a guest. He was a good guest.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
a lot of people reach out and say how much they enjoyed it. It was kind of weird because at the same time, we had recorded that before, but I was like, I feel like this week we should be talking a little bit about the fires. And since we recorded before the fires started, but the few people that we know that listen haven't been affected. So hopefully, a couple of people were very close.
Like Mileage Runner.
Yeah,
He's
Steve and Kim were both
And
within a couple
Aaron.
miles. So it's been crazy to watch.
I was watching a video on YouTube or on social media about how the planes have to go pick up the water.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And how close they have to actually get before they can drop everything is like, those pilots are incredible.
Yeah.
For
That
sure.
is pretty incredible.
That's what he said. Our friend Brittany, that's what she wants to do. That's why when she's getting her license, that's what she wants to do eventually. And she said she wants dangerous jobs. And I said, well, just go work for Spirit then, if you're going to be it. So,
My cousin Tiffany, her son, is one of those helicopter bucket pilots.
Oh, really?
Where he scoops up water in a bucket and takes it. Kind of badass.
Did you see the reel or the video of them picking up from a pool, and then it has a shot of the little capsule or whatever it is, and there's this woman that pops her head out. She's
She's got goggles on.
yeah.
She's like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, on this head.
yeah, the fires have been pretty crazy to watch though. So
Yeah.
hopefully they're get in covered pretty quick.
Yeah.
Did
It reminded me a lot of the Lahaina fire.
I know.
A lot.
Oh,
There's
they
a
just
lot
kinda
of
went.
similarities,
Yeah.
including no water.
Yeah. Phil, did you hear what Delta announced? They're going to put our podcast on their screens. Did you
Really?
hear that?
No.
Yeah.
Front like poop.
Yeah, either on their CPACs or on the where you can stream it.
We're so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
know.
they're doing all of YouTube.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? When I fly them, I'm going to go through and on every screen and put ours up.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that was one of the things they announced. Did you see any of their stuff? The big CES thing in Vegas.
Delta announced some stuff at it.
I saw it.
Because they're having
Oh.
their birthday. So yeah, they announced some stuff, and I watched it live. Barrel had sent me the link, so a couple of us were kind of watching it down. They did it in the Sphere, the Sphere,
Yeah.
and it looked amazing, like inside the whole presentation. As well, one of the things they announced some partnerships, and one was with Uber. So if you use Uber, you're going to earn Delta miles. Another one was YouTube. So you can have free streaming YouTube on the CPACs and on your devices. They already have free Wi-Fi.
Cool.
So that's why I was like, oh, we're on YouTube. Hopefully people that are watching enjoy it. I know a few people have reached out and said it, that they enjoy the other watches and see us. Even though Laura does not like people can see her. Do you know that?
Not a fan.
Really?
But you're the best looking one of
You're
all of
so
us.
cute.
Like, we're the ugly friends that
No.
make you look good. And you still don't like it?
I'm getting better.
Okay.
But I still didn't watch it. I haven't
You'd
watched
rather have your face plastered on a suitcase or on a
That
mug,
would be-
but not on a video.
Isn't that silly?
It's silly.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
But it's been fun. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And Laura wants to talk about how you can help support our podcast. Remember, we talked about it. Flight attendants can send us their shoes and we'll sell them.
And we'll sell them and reap the benefit.
No, because you said you worked with a lady that said she didn't want to subscribe because she didn't want to pay for it.
That's right. So they think if they subscribe to our podcast that they're paying money for it every
Oh,
month.
no.
And I said, no, it's free, but
Yeah.
God love her. I'm like, have you ever listened to a podcast? And she goes, I've never watched one. Me either.
We said, well, now you can.
Yeah, so we're coming up on 100 subscribers. Still very small, but yeah, subscribe because it does help us and help.
Yeah, if you subscribe and
Hit the like
5
button
stars.
when you're watching.
5 stars.
Yeah, and leave a comment. We've had some good comments come in. So yeah, if you do that, we appreciate it. And it's a good way to help the podcast, but it doesn't cost you anything.
Not a dime. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe.
You don't have to send us your used shoes.
No, and it just subscribe on YouTube or your podcast
Or listen.
platform.
Well, my friend Sean at work, he
Yeah.
said that I don't know how it is, but it's hooked up with Alexis now.
So,
So
okay,
if you just tell her, hey, Alexis, play Non Rev Lounge,
it'll play it.
it will play it. But he says you have to be very specific and like really pronunciate, otherwise it's some weird band.
Oh,
that
there's a
comes
bit.
up. But if you're Non Rev Lounge,
Yeah.
she'll play it for you too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So thanks, Delta, for playing us on all yours.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know anyone that has, I've watched YouTube before on flights before because all you have to need is the internet,
Yeah,
but they will have theirs is ad free.
that's nice.
So yeah. All right. So let's real quick do our goals for 2025 and where we want to go. All right. So who wants to go first? Where do you
I'll
want to
go
go this
first.
year?
Goals for,
We can do both.
all right. So my goal for this year is to fly to A380. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. You said that a couple years ago.
What did I say last year too? Same thing.
Oh, probably. So, but are you going to do something about it to make it happen?
I'm going to try. But this is a whole thing because where I want to go is you've heard of the milk run up in Alaska.
Yeah. They don't have milk runs till 380s, do they?
I am going to be doing a butter run to Paris.
Okay.
And I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to go to Paris just to buy butter.
Okay.
I'm going to take a big suitcase. I'm going to try to talk my husband to go in with me. If he doesn't want to go with me, that's okay. I'll go by myself. I'm going to go to Paris and buy butter.
Are you going to sell on the second hand market here, the
Mhm.
butter? Okay.
I'll give you each 1 pound.
Woohoo.
I gave you a pound last time
Of your 50?
out of the 50. Because I will be bringing a separate bag.
Well, Air France didn't bring their 380s back. So you're looking at flying to Germany or London. We'll have the 380s. Unless you go crazy, you can go to South Korea and then, or to Australia and then continue on to Paris.
Is there an amount of butter you can bring back?
I don't know. I'm just going to put it in my check bag.
Like how you can only bring so many cigarettes through.
Yeah, or like there's like a limit on the alcohol and
Yeah.
the proof and
I
stuff.
don't think there's a limit on butter, but
On
I'm going
butter.
to explore that.
You may want to look into it. And also going
Just
to
a
Europe
break.
now, you're going to have to sign up for
Eddie asked.
it started. Was it like 7 pounds or 10 pounds?
Seven, I think.
And it's good for 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
So
That's not too bad.
no, it's not too
No.
bad. You have to do it for it. So in the past, you may just like hop on a flight. And now
So-
you had to get on. I think it's pretty quick, but you
I
still
think
have
the
to.
weird thing is about that is that you have to put in where you're going, but it's good for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think
So
just like
initially
the first,
you have to tell them where you're going,
yeah.
but it doesn't matter the next 2 or 3 years.
All right. So that was your goal. Where do you
Mhm.
want to go? Paris?
Paris.
Okay.
Get better and better.
So my goals this year, I want to travel, as I flew a lot of flights last year, probably my most ever. It was over 120 flights, but I didn't feel like I traveled anywhere. I mean, so Katie was like, well, we did this, but They weren't. I want to go big this year. My boys have 2 weeks of spring break and 2 weeks of fall break, and I want to go on like 2-week trips. The places that you wouldn't do like a week trip, like to get over there and get back. So I'm looking at doing our friend Kim was just in Africa. She's from South Africa, and some of her videos of the animals. And I was like, oh, I want to go do a safari, but it's so far away. It's hard to do like in a week because you're almost 2 days to get there. I want to do like big trips. So that's mine together, either Africa or Asia and big
Both
trips.
those would be awesome.
Yeah. I just got to talk to the boss into approving.
So goal is to do big trips.
And then
places.
either like Africa or Asia.
It's a good ones.
What about you? What do you want to do this year?
Just thinking about it, I would like to take a big family trip, but go still internationally.
Okay.
So maybe even just Mexico.
I'd like you to do that.
But I think it would be fun to take my kids either on a cruise somewhere or like Mexico. I think that would be a really fun goal for us to do this year.
Nice.
Maybe somewhere like Mexico City for you, because you speak Spanish.
And we'll give them
She
less.
spoke Spanish.
I spoke Chilean more than anything else.
They make great wine in Chile.
I want to go back down south though.
Where would you want to go in Mexico? If you did. Right now, choose right now.
If-
Where'd you go?
I mean, maybe Cancun.
Okay.
I would we just had such a great time there last year.
It was just
last
2 of
fall.
you though, right?
It was just Honey and I,
Yeah.
yeah. But I remember
Taking
being
kids
at
is
the
different, though.
resort. But I think my kids are big enough
I-
that like they would also enjoy that resort with us. They felt more.
Would they enjoy Lara's resort?
What? And
Hypothetically.
no. Well, I mean, if it was like their age, maybe they would enjoy a little more. Oh, sorry, Mara.
No, that's all right. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, but I mean, Puerto Vallarta and Cabo would also be great options.
That's what, I've been, I know those are long trips, but I've also been like, when I'm working the flights and then doing bags for Puerto Vallarta or something, I was like, oh, I've never been down there. I want to go. I've only been to Cancun and Rocky Point and Tijuana, but I know there's so many
Do
places
you
I want to
even
go.
admit Tijuana?
I just crossed the border. I didn't leave the airport.
Hey, you weren't there in inaugural flight.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Yeah.
Were you on the inaugural flight last year? All right.
I know.
Shots fired.
All right. So that'll be our backgrounds for the day.
But it would be just, I mean, you could just put like a beach up maybe, because I wouldn't mind doing a cruise with my kids either.
Okay. So don't put a picture of Lara's resort.
Like that. Take a picture of my resort.
That's against the rules.
With a little like booking code for discount. Yeah. You just use Lara's name.
You ran into a couple listeners, right?
I'm pretty famous.
People like to come find you.
Yeah. Like,
They just ham on the windows to
I think
see
it's
me.
the hair that,
I think Kelsey, when she first found you like a couple years ago, she said she's just looking for your hair.
is that what?
I think so. But so, yeah, our friend Marilyn from Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs. Yeah.
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 And she came clear over from another terminal, right?
Yeah, I was just working in, and she came up, and I think at first I was a little taken back because I wasn't quite sure like who she was or
Yeah.
how. I think I was like, "How can I help you?" And then she was like, "I'm a listener," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It was fun to sit and chat with her, and she said her husband did not want to go through security, so he was waiting out there, but it was so funny, and she brought us little goodie bags that were so cute.
With candy and then this cute little airplane thing. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
And thank you for stopping.
I even got
It's
one
it's so fun to see people when they listen, and yeah.
because I don't get gifts.
Not on the ramp.
reaper.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if you take it to yourself, but you're just supposed to.
Oh, like it.
That's a joke. He doesn't still.
I wouldn't want people's dirty stuff.
And then one other time you were working the gates and a crew walked by.
Well, I was sitting there. Brittany was getting ready to fly out.
Oh.
So I was chatting with her, and this flight attendant comes up, and he's like looking at me. And I'm thinking maybe he's looking at Brittany, and I'm thinking, oh, he just recognizes her as like a flight attendant. I thought maybe you guys have a secret code, like you can tell. And then as he walks by, he goes, "But," and I was like, "What's that?"
You
I
knew it
don't
was
know.
you.
And then he swings around and he like introduces himself, and he was like, "I did fine because that's what you say." And I was like, "Oh, now it's clicking. I'm just real slow. He still works with me."
He's so funny.
Is it you know him, right?
Brandon. I only know him from Instagram, and then
Okay.
he's a listener because he DMs me on Instagram.
Did he dead on a flight of yours, or you dead on
Well,
one of his?
I was going to Richmond once, and I hopped on his flight. He was so cute. He was like,
Because you sat right on his lap, right?
"No, I
Oh.
sat on the jump seat." He was real cute.
The
He's
jump
nice.
seat.
He was a
But
nice
he's
guy.
super cute. Yeah, it's
Why?
he's got dreads.
I
He
know.
was.
What?
He was or is?
He is Hawaiian.
Okay, you said he
No,
was.
no,
He's like Kamala.
he's from Hawaii.
But then he was going out on a flight that I was working.
Oh, how weird.
So it was so funny. And then he showed up at the gate and it was pretty, we chatted for a minute.
His name is
sitting
Brandon,
down.
if only be on
And
Instagram.
even my partner was like, he's cute.
It's cute. He's got a great personality too.
Yeah, he's super fun.
Yeah. So one time he was, because he was going back home to Honolulu, and he was on our flight out of Phoenix, from Phoenix to Honolulu. And he asked the girl working the flight, it was a 787, and she's from my class. And he goes, "Do you know Laura Kitterman?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, I know her really well." He goes, "I'm her boyfriend." And so then she goes, she texts me, she goes, "There's this beautiful young man who says he's your boyfriend. Do you know who he is?" And I go, "Oh yeah, I know who that is."
Well, that's right, because he told me that he was your boyfriend too.
See?
And then the in-flight supervisor, Christian, showed up.
Oh yeah.
And I said, Lara's boyfriend's on here. So he was like, I'm going to go talk to him. So he went down.
Oh, Christian went and talked to him too.
Yeah.
That's funny. When I'm on my work tablet on Teams, Christian will pop in there and say hi.
Yeah, I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, me too.
He's back?
He's back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
He was in Dallas for a while, but he
Yeah.
came back.
I remember when he went, you were very sad.
Yeah, I do. I like him a lot.
Well, he's a team.
So recently in the news, there's been a lot about people who are like creating up in the wheelbase or stowaways on planes, but it's not turning out that good.
But not just them. That's happening too. But Delta had a couple people sneak on board. You see that?
No.
They hid in the bathroom.
One
to
lady
laugh.
made it all the way to Paris from JFK. So she got through security, got onto the board, and got to Paris, and they had to strip her back. And then another one,
That's bonkers.
they
wonder
were
if she had her
on
passport.
board too, and they realized before they took off, so they just taxied back to the gate and kicked them off.
And this is different than the one who took a picture of the boarding pass.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago.
Okay, this is even
Yeah.
different than that.
Yeah. So there was those two, and then there was the JetBlue and United. United had someone Chicago to Miami or to Maui on a Dreamliner that they found had died on the flight. And JetBlue had,
Because they're frozen in there.
it's so cold up there. I don't know. And then JetBlue had two going to Fort Lauderdale. They found two bodies.
I feel bad for those people. Or did they even fall out before?
Well, that's what there could be more people that have died that just, they opened the wheel wells and they
Yeah.
They're
fall out.
thinking they got on in Jamaica, right? And it went from Jamaica to San Diego to JFK.
I haven't followed it possibly.
It went like all these different, and it wasn't discovered.
Oh my
some
God.
of
But I
those-
think you have to lean down and then get up to look up in there.
Oh, really?
Some of those, we have to do walk arounds.
Yeah.
And then a number of times. So the pilots always do a walk around for every flight, but they don't necessarily always stick their head up in the wheel wells. And then we have to do a walk around. We do like the basic one too for our ramp just to cover ourselves, make sure that we don't see anything before and after, like when it lands, and then before it takes off. We
It was
do
a basic,
base
no
one.
dents, no.
But we also have to sweep the plane. So there's sweeps. That means they go through and check everything.
Yeah.
Inside and out. We're supposed to do it the first flight of every day, and also international. And so, but if a flight came and it was a good flight for a couple of days before anyone could stick their head up in a wheel well and be like, because there is a little bit of space up there. The Airbuses and Boeings are a little different than we have, because I don't know how people would fit up on the 737. Those wheels go up. There's not even a cover on the bottom where the wheels are underneath. But some of the Airbus have a little bit of space in there, but there's no air. It's not like even in some where I work and underneath
In the cargo hold?
it'll be pressurized, so you'll get air. On our Airbuses, we can't have pets below, but on the Boeings, they can, 737. So if you were in there, if an animal can be in there, maybe cold, but it would be livable. But down below where the tires are and stuff, you're just going to die.
Yeah.
I don't know what people are thinking that they feel like they can.
That's desperate.
The lady who got to Paris,
Okay.
that is bonkers, because I almost had a manifest discrepancy like last week.
Yeah.
Going to Puerto Vallarta. Like manifest discrepancies for us are a really big deal, even domestically, but internationally, like the fines are like enormous if they're on or not. Either way, especially busy bag. But I was missing one passenger. My partner was going to go down and check to see if they were on or not. We asked the flight attendants to check, and the flight attendants were like, he's on board. So I said, thank you so much for letting me know. Like, it would have been really bad if I didn't scan him on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I scanned him on, we push it back, and then I'm in the break room after it's done, and the flight attendants right in our message system, they're like, actually, another person with that same name sat in his seat, so that person is not on board.
Same name.
Same name.
Okay.
I mean, his name was Daniel. So
Yeah.
like another Daniel sat in that seat. So I was like,
Oh.
oh my gosh. So before the plane gets in the air, I have to now go out. We have to call a bunch of people. You have to like reopen that flight, take
bring
this
an
person
international
off.
flight
Yeah.
back, yeah.
And it was,
Do the pilots have to pull over until all that's done?
they never said anything about them getting out of sequence. So I think we may have done it quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because if they're in the air, then you really are kind of SOL, because then you have to call Mexico and tell them what's coming. Anyway, so I think we caught it before it got off, or they had to change. But I just can't imagine getting called in and they were like, so someone went to Paris. And anyway, I'm sure
In the
video
lavatory.
and trying to figure out how they
Yeah, I'd say,
passed.
and I'm not sure all the situation there, but it sounded like, things have probably a lot more information came out since that. But they got on board, they got through security, and they were able to get on the plane. So
Without boarding pass.
Do you guys check labs before you?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of your checks.
We're supposed to, like on some flights, they lock them.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. When 40's finished, they lock them so that nobody can sneak in there or whatever. Actually, we just do it so that they can't use it while we're doing demo.
that's funny. Doug and Drew didn't want to talk about it a couple weeks ago because they didn't want to give out tips of how to do it.
Oh,
I was
next
like,
trip podcast.
it's like, you can still talk about it. I mean, it's happening. They don't have to say like,
How it happened. We don't know how it happened.
we don't know how we did it. So
Well, do you remember there was a lady a couple years ago and she was like notorious for getting on flights without boarding
Oh, they
pass?
did a whole story on her.
Yeah, and she was kind of like an older woman with like kind of short gray hair. Well, I'm like very suspicious now. Anytime I see an older woman with a gray bottom, I was like,
It's her. There she is.
she just sneak on my plane.
Karen's trying to get on again.
Karen.
I went, no to do.
Brittany sent us this deal the other day. It was Ryanair put something out. I probably should find it. And so passengers that were being disruptive, they were going to, and they had to divert, right? They were going to give them a huge fine for it to kind of cover the cost of crews that are out of place, the gas, I think, the fuel.
And the
for-
landing fees.
Yeah, all that stuff they were going to come back and put on them. But you said that Ireland does it?
Yeah, well, Ireland does that too now.
Really?
They will. But remember, I had that one lady that was a little bit out of control with her dog. She'd been drinking.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I said,
And her boyfriend next to her.
yeah,
For $5.
yeah. And the captain told me to tell her, you will be charged for the diversion. You will be charged the landing fees and the gasoline and everything that it takes.
So do they sue them? Is that what it is? You have to take them
Sure,
to
they
court.
have to
It's
sue
not
'em.
just like do you agree to it in the terms and conditions, or
Sign here.
when you buy it, you're saying, yeah, I will.
Sign on this vomit bag.
But even if you think about it, so I think that the Ryanair they talked about, because a lot of theirs go to leisure destinations, so people are going, and you're ruining a whole plane full, possibly of their
Vacation
trips. And with our airline, we're a huge connecting airline. And so if a plane's going to a place that's going to connect and you just all of a sudden had a whole plane full of people misconnect to Hawaii, to Europe, to wherever, that's going to be a big deal. And just charging them for fuel, like it was like 15,000 pounds, was it? So it was still a lot, but that's not very much if you think about all the people that are lost in hotels that have to get
rental
rebooked.
cars, hotels.
All those things that
They may miss a day of
So-
work if they're going back home.
So they're getting the airline was saying, Ryanair was saying, we're going to make you cover what we lost, but that all those people on board, they're not going to cover for it if they don't have some sort of.
When I wonder if for them, even like landing fees and like if there's different customs fees, because they're going to different countries a lot too. I wonder if that's even.
yeah.
Because I thought about that when Dallas had all that weather and Japan had to come here, though. Like our customs people were, I guess, very overwhelmed
I bet.
with
two
those
big
flights. Yeah,
wide bodies coming in.
yeah. So anyway, so I'm just thinking if they're landing in another country,
Because
that
we
they-
can't handle those extra.
Yes, we can.
She just said they can't.
If they
if
were
we
prepared
had-
for it, ready
They're
for
prepared
it.
for it.
I heard that downstairs they had 1,000 extra bags for those two, and they had them just fine.
Did they?
You know why they diverted to here?
Because they said they could handle it.
It's a hub.
Because
It's
it's
a-
an all-weather gateway.
No, because it's a hub, and they could put them on flights to St. Louis.
Plus, they were able to land because we're an all-weather gateway.
We're the best and
Well,
friendliest.
Landing in Denver
And the
wouldn't do
friendliness.
us any good, or landing in Salt Lake.
Denver always has crappy weather, and so does Salt Lake. But Phoenix always has good
But
weather.
we can connect them on our line instead of putting them all on Delta. They land in Salt Lake.
That's true.
Well, that makes more sense. Because I heard they wanted to send Seoul here
Well-
too, but we couldn't handle it.
They said sold it at LA.
They didn't have gate spaces. Like Phoenix doesn't have space to expand, even if they wanted to. They're planning on expanding the international in like 20 years, though. They said
It's got to be quicker than that.
It's close to that, Tyler.
they put an article out a couple years ago.
Tyler.
In their 25-year plan, it was not
Tyler.
anywhere in the.
I will maybe hold weekends when we get it. Up a bigger airport. That'd be great.
So
That'll be 30 years.
Can we talk about my shirt?
That's perfect.
yeah, let's talk about your sweatshirt.
My sweatshirt, I'm repping Global Airways.
So what
today.
is Global Airways? Because no one's heard of it.
Well, it hasn't taken off yet.
I know, but they've been talking about it for
Literally.
years.
James Asquith's new airline. He's got A380s, 2 now.
I thought it was a couple. Was it more two even, or was it just two?
I know for a fact it's 2.
Yeah.
So not last year at Dorkfest, the year before, I DM'd them on Instagram and said, hey, I'm going to Dorkfest. If you send me some brochures or something, I'll chat up your airline. And they didn't have their stuff. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, so now they're all together. So I'm going to have to DM them again and tell them I'm going to Dorkfest and I'll be the Global Airways representative. But he started this airline. He flew us a lot. Up front. He's a young man. He just got married. He's got an entrepreneur. He's a young Richard Branson over in the UK.
Oh,
And so now he started this airline and he's finally got uniforms and he's got the 2 planes. He's got pilots. It's pretty exciting.
yeah.
And when he did a test run with his pilot, wasn't that one of the most watched on flight radar, when it took off? So
Because I think it was in the desert in California or
Mhm.
something, and they sent it back to England. 'Cause
Mhm.
that's where it's based.
Well, I was going to say, if he's got 2 380s, I know it's bad for planes to be sitting. So what are they doing with them before they actually are
I
in?
don't know. I think they're getting ready. They're hiring their flight attendants. I'd go train their flight attendants if I was 10 years younger. I think I would do it. Leave my airline and go do it because it sounds exciting. It's just like old America West
Yeah. The people are nice.
when we started America West. Yeah, it's a kind of tight little thing. Okay, thank you.
I'm very pessimistic about it.
Quiswar.
I'm very optimistic about it.
What are you?
I'm excited.
Do you think that it makes sense to have 2 380s flying
Where are they going?
from London to cities in the world, big cities?
That makes sense.
But they can't connect because it's just London to there. A whole 380, like 500 passengers they have to put on there. They have to fill a plane to one city.
I think London. could
Like
do it.
British Airways has a 380 go to LA, right? But when you hit London, you can go to like 60, 70, maybe more destinations. So yeah, there's people going to London, but then people can connect on all the everything. These people are just going to London because there's no connection on.
You don't think they'll get partners eventually?
I mean, how long will that take to get?
Oh, I don't
And
know.
who would they partner with? So I just think it's very optimistic that you could start an airline with huge airplanes. They're very expensive to fly because they have.
My dream is to have just a straight fleet of Dreamliners.
Oh, I know. It sounds awesome.
My dream.
That's funny.
Going to Salt Lake on Dreamliners.
That could be your 380 this year.
It could be.
Could
Maybe
be.
he'll invite me.
Yeah, that's your sweatshirt is your ticket.
Yeah. Maybe
Ma-
he'll invite me.
Maybe you could go front too. Well, not like a cockpit. But
Yeah,
like,
because it's going to be empty, so you can sit wherever you want.
get one piece.
If you want to sponsor a podcast, Global.
Yeah, they'll want. Thanks a lot, Tyler. You
When did you save the day?
don't remember saving the day?
It really wasn't much.
No, it was actually quite a bit.
Well, I did. My friend Buller did more than I did.
Remember, we don't tell the truth on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
It could be, and we don't
I
say
did
our
it all.
coworkers'
I
names.
was super busy sitting around for most of the evening. I get a text from you that your coworker had lost an earring.
Okay, so when I got home, I get this text from her, and she's distraught. And she's like, "Oh, did you see my earring in my ear?" Well, because we worked together, the flight was kind of open in the back. She goes, "Did you notice my earring?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't notice your earring." She goes, "Oh, Lance, we gave me those for our 5th anniversary."
Mm.
And she goes, "I'm super, super sad." And she just kept going. She kept texting me. I'm like, "Okay."
Well, like, what are you supposed to do
I
from
know,
your
and-
house?
Then I said, she goes, "I don't know. Where do you think I could find out where they were?" I go, "Well, let me ask Monique where Lost and Found is." So then I texted Monique knowing she was at work. And she said, "Oh, it's either Lost and Found at behind PAC or the Passenger Assistance Center or ask a manager." And
But I
then,
was already thinking, especially one earring, most
Me
of the time
too.
that stuff doesn't get actually turned in or, yeah.
and then she texted me. She goes, "I was in the restroom right before landing and I heard something fall and I thought it was my pen. And I thought, oh, it's a goner because I'm not touching that pen again. And so, and yet people walk in there with bare feet. And so
Wait, the restroom or the lav?
she was going to laugh.
It's on the plane.
Yeah, she was
Okay,
on the
right.
plane and then we were getting ready to land and she ran in there and she heard something fall, but she thought it was pen.
Was she doing a selfie? Why did it always do selfies in the restroom?
You didn't. But I do.
But
So I sent that message to Monique and then Monique graciously said,
I was like, we're not doing anything. I'll run over. We'll check out the plane and see what we see. So
I would have said the same thing. I wouldn't have gone, but I would have said that.
no, like it was
I'll
a
go
low
check.
op stay. So we were literally like, okay, let's walk over there. So we walk over there and I go straight to the bathroom and I'm like opening the door and my friend is like, is that it? And I was like, come up over my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just right there. It was literally just sitting right in the galley.
after the cleaners had been on. Then I texted her back. She goes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I go, that wasn't me. It was Monique. She did save the day
Would you wear an earring that's been on the floor in the lav?
after I cleaned it.
Okay.
If my husband gave it to me at my food.
Like professionally cleaned or just put in the dishwasher?
It wasn't in the lab. Or you just hypothetically know.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, it was in like their galley area as you walk.
Oh.
it wasn't the galley?
Yeah, it wasn't even in the bathroom.
Oh, I thought it was in the lab.
And dirty
No.
stuff doesn't happen in the galley, right?
No, that floor was filthy.
Yeah.
That's
It is filthy.
we found it,
Good
So,
job.
which is I mean a miracle because I genuinely did not think we were gonna find it.
It is a miracle. My husband goes, I can't believe she found it.
Did you know that Laura went back to London? You know, she got banned from London for a couple months.
I was so excited.
There's
for it.
there weren't any London flights out of Phoenix.
So we talked about Delta, a big thing in Vegas. And I think then, did I mention on here?
It was a
I-
CES.
Yeah, so yeah, they did. About for those 9 days, a number of airlines flights in. I even saw there was a guy we follow. I think he works for Southwest, but he flew business class on Air France
Of course.
back to Paris because they had added extra flights into Vegas for that.
Cool.
And so he got business class there and back. Kind of did the same thing I was looking at for Tokyo, but to France and back. But so they added flights because we don't fly that normally. We don't fly Vegas to
No,
London
No,
or
they-
Tokyo normally.
it was special sections just for that CES convention. And they had to, we have a satellite base in Las Vegas and those people are officially based in LA, but they live in Vegas but they don't have any pursers. On these particular flights, they had 4 people from Phoenix, including a purser, and then 5 people from the satellite base.
I bet they were pumped about that.
Yeah, well, actually, no, because they had just gotten in from Auckland the day before when I flew with them.
Oh, so they were exhausted.
So, well, but it's just interesting how,
Yeah.
so I'm like, wow, that's really crazy. And so then they're crewing the the Vegas Narita ones. Those were crewed with Dallas people. Those were crewed with Dallas people because of the speakers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, so what I did is I flew up to Vegas, 24 hours in Vegas, and then I flew from Vegas to
Did he put
London.
you in the new Sahara or is it just renovated? Right? You were in where were you at?
I was at the Sahara.
Was it nice?
I stayed at the Sahara.
Is it nice?
It is nice.
Because it was an old one. I thought did they tear it down and build new or they just renovated it? And
I
made
think
it,
they just renovated
But it's
it.
nice in
There
there
are
now?
pictures everywhere, all like of the old days, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
with like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that in it.
So
It's kinda
you-
We
neat.
stayed there a couple years ago. It was nice.
Yeah.
So
got
you
cool
had the
food.
option to just non-rev yourself there, right? Because they deadheaded you to Vegas.
Correct. They
And-
did. Uh-huh.
But you wanted to have a night in Vegas.
All 4 of us did.
And did you go to like,
We went to dinner.
okay,
Yeah. Well, 4 of us stayed together. We went to dinner.
in
We had
one
a
room?
good- No, but one couple was married. There was
Oh.
a flight attendant couple that was married.
Oh,
And then when we met the LA crew or the Vegas crew, one of their couples they were married.
Is that weird working with a married couple?
No.
Because you do it to people?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When you're working with Dave, were you like trying to be respectful or are you hands on each other all the time?
No, respectful.
Okay. Like if you work with a couple, is there any couple gate agents?
Yeah.
And if they're like touching each other, would you feel awkward?
Well, the one they actually just bicker quite a bit.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
they like to. Yeah, the other ones, I don't know. No one's like weird.
So you went towards the beginning of it, of
Towards the beginning of it.
conference, which I would assume the flights would be empty, but it was a full flight.
100% full. And then, okay, so I really don't have any, I'm telling you, that crew was amazing from Vegas. They were amazing. Hard workers, loved them, loved every minute with them. I kind of scared them a little bit because we were all senior to them. And I scared them a little bit because when on the way back, I go, hey, guess what I'm going to do? And they said, what? I go, I'm going to change my base. I'm going to change my base and then they come here and I'm going to buddy bid with you. And they're all like, but one thing is I found out I was the only one that was checking the lavatories. And when you're full on a 777, those lavatories have to be checked a couple times.
Check for what?
I clean up the floor because there's like, there's little pieces of, I don't know, people get in there and they're like birds. There's like little pieces of paper all over. I think it's when they start the roll of toilet paper, and there's paper towels laying around. So I like clean that all up and then I make sure there's enough paper towels and toilet paper in there. But so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laughs. So I did it on my own going to London, and then coming back from London, I looked, guess who? Nobody else was doing them. So I did them again. And I was coming back from London 100% full, and I'm on this side, and I had to laugh. I was on aircraft right, and there was a couple of EPs and their families on the aircraft left, but who cares? It's not on my side. So I'm on my side, and I'm kneeling down. I've got my back braced against the door, and I've got my knees up on the lav sink, and I'm changing the toilet paper out. And this lady leans over. She goes, excuse me. And I look at her. I'm like, you can't wait 2 seconds till I get the toilet paper?
Yeah.
And she goes, my kids are hungry and I'm out of snacks. And I said, well, we made an announcement that there's a snack station open at the back of the airplane with juice and water and the beverages and snacks back there.
Yeah.
I said, but nobody hears it. And I get a little snippy because I'm on my knees changing the toilet paper and I'm the only one doing it.
And it's day 2.
It's day 2. And I go, but nobody hears that because everybody's got their earphones on. And she goes, oh, so should I go back there? That would probably be good because I don't know what kind of snacks your children like. That might be good. So she goes back there, and I say it all very nicely with a smile on my face, but I know I'm snippy. Okay, so anyway, I go back and I tell everybody about it because everybody goes from that back out line. And so we get to so now we fly into Vegas. We go through customs and everything, and we decided we're gonna go home on our last flight.
Not going back to Sahara.
Not back to Sahara. We're
Because
going
you
to
were booked. You were just,
we're supposed to stay at the Sahara, but
Yeah.
it was just dead head home. So we're going to go back early. So I go running to the gate. We all go to the gate, and we're all standing there. And I'm looking around, and this lady walks up to me, and I look at her. Like,
It's the bathroom lady.
It's the bathroom lady. And now, guess what? She's the EP. I'm snippy to one person out of 273. I'm snippy to one person, and it's our EP, and she's on our flight to Phoenix.
Well, did she say anything to you there?
Yeah, she just walked up to me and started talking to me like we're friends. So I said to her, I said, I just want to apologize. I was snippy earlier. I said, you just really caught me in a bad position when I was on my knees.
Literally.
Changing. And she goes, oh, I didn't think you were snippy. And she walked away. They go, were you snippy?
that's because your snippy is like everyone else is normal. Like how I think I'm all energetic on the podcast, but then I'm boring.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you think you're like screamed at her. You're probably like, hold on just 1 second. But that was your mean.
Could you not wait till I'm up off the floor? Anyway, she was very nice. They had the whole row of 4 seats because she had her kids with her. But she chose to sit on my side, but I didn't know it was her.
Gotcha.
Because I like to say hi to the EPs. I look them up before the flight, see if I remember their names, and then I like to say hi. Technically.
So you do Phoenix a lot, Phoenix, London. But you said Vegas to London. The passengers were different, right?
Whole other animal.
How was it different than what you usually do? Like,
Okay, first of all, Phoenix to London usually has anywhere between 20 to 40 special meals. And we have 13 types of special meals on our airline. And so it's hard to figure out service like that because you want to serve the special meals with the regular meals so that everybody eats at the same time. So the whole family will eat at the same time. At Vegas, not one special meal.
But you said it was a lot of foreigners too, right?
It was, and the whole thing was European.
Because a lot of the special meals are like the Indian people?
Asian, vegetarian, stuff like that. Kosher.
But the Vegas, you said, was a lot of like European stuff?
Very much Europeans
going
and
to
no
France
special.
And
yeah.
So there were people, because you left on a Sunday or Monday?
I left on Sunday.
So there were people that had been to Vegas partying and now they're going home, right?
Yeah. And and that's an all-nighter. It was an all-nighter. We landed at like 10:30 in the morning in London. No sleep. They still didn't sleep. I'm like, you are just leaving Vegas. How come you are not sleeping?
And hammered.
Yeah. Well, they didn't drink very much, but yeah.
Probably because they've been drinking for the last week. So
they're going to work, yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting. It was just a whole different animal. I was like, I guess I could change bases.
And then coming back, because you're coming back still towards the beginning, was it all nerds? Like technology nerds going back?
Well, they didn't look or act like you would think a nerd would, like an introvert. They didn't know.
Like
they
me.
were pretty extroverted for Yeah. But,
Okay.
But figure if they're in a
extrovert nerd. Ooh,
yeah.
sounds like a lot. Let me tell you about my Pokemon cards.
But was it different than the going out? Was it more Europe? Was it more people from Europe? I'm assuming because they're going to Vegas for that conference.
They were going to Vegas for the conference, and they were drinking a little bit, but not like I want a double.
They were going for a work trip, not a business trip.
Work
Okay.
trip. Yeah.
They weren't like a Woodford double.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
prefer? The drinkers that are partiers and smokers?
No.
You prefer the business people? Oh, I thought you like the smokers.
No, I said they were nice and they're fun to work with, but no.
But you said that on this
Yeah,
podcast.
I have.
We can look it up.
They are fun, but that's a big flight.
A day trip. Because coming back, you're going to all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a good time in London? It was good to be back?
It was good to be back. And
Were you in your normal hotel or a different one than normal?
I was in the original hotel, which is in Kensington.
So your driver you like wasn't there?
No, the driver, no. It
Okay.
wasn't that. But it was kind of fun to be back in the old neighborhood.
Kensington's nice. That's where I stayed when I went with my parents.
Kensington's a great place to stay. There's lots to do, lots to shop.
Very affordable.
Yeah.
mean,
The prices
right
when you eat dinner and stuff, you can get a good steak for 14 pounds. It's like $16.
That's good.
Yeah.
The steak and shake?
At the Flatiron.
So that's better than Outback.
But yeah. So there was a flight attendant that was killed. So does it worry to you at all? Because she was on a trip.
Mm-hmm. First of all, she did nothing wrong.
I know. Yeah.
It was 5:00 in the afternoon, and she was in downtown Denver at the mall, walking on the outside mall.
Yeah, bonkers.
She was by herself.
It could have happened anywhere. I mean,
Could have happened anywhere.
any safe.
It could have happened to anyone, not necessarily just a flight.
There's crazy people everywhere. Yeah. Like, that guy he was just going around to hurt people.
So does it worry you though, like going out? Or do you guys have even an unwritten rule to always be with someone else?
No, and it does worry me a little bit. I don't wear my AirPods. I don't wear headsets when I'm out walking around so I can hear people from behind me. And I try to stay, like when I'm in London, I stay on like Oxford, on big streets, so that I'm packed with people.
Okay.
I don't know, there's safety in numbers, but stuff can happen anywhere. But she's old America West. She started America West.
So you knew her.
Yeah, everybody that started America West knew her. She loved horses. And she and her husband were both musicians. And just as a side note, the last few years, they've been playing at like old folks home, retirement home for entertainment for those people for free. They've been going around. And I just want that to be known about her.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
That's sad though. I mean, it's crazy. Over what we saw, it was just kind of like, ow.
They did catch the guy the next day.
All the gate agents, as soon as we saw her picture, we were like, yes, we know who she is. Because, she's been around for a long time. So we all knew.
Man, it's a shame. Sad.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate everyone's support or watching. We enjoy getting together and hope that people enjoy watching us. I sent both of you that clip. It was like an influencer. It's like a day in the life of a millionaire.
Oh,
and then it's like,
in Bali.
Then it's like, no one cares or something. And I was like, I feel like that's how people that listen to the podcast think about when I start talking. They're like, oh, we don't care. Just put Laura and Monique on. But it's fun to talk about. We appreciate you listening. Our thoughts are with the family and the people in California now trying to rebuild, because that's sad. But thank you. And thanks. See you next week.
Everyone stay safe, and you can find us at the Non Rev Lounge podcast at gmail.com.
Bye.
This has been Non Rev Lounge. This episode was sponsored by Staff Traveler, which is the #1 app to get your non-rev loads. It is used by over 800,000 people from all airlines the world over and built to make your non-rev trips easy and stress-free. Sign up now for free at stafftraveler.com/non-rev-lounge.
Well, remember when I said I have 2 Monique stories? Let me go back to my notes.
I wanted to give the pilots in the fires, because those helicopter and what kind of pilots? I think they do amazing work. How close they have to get to the fires and stuff to drop it.
Global Airlines.
Do they go all over the globe?
They go
They don't
nowhere.
go anywhere yet.
Oh. Did you know there's an airline called Key Lime Airline?
Yeah, they fly to Phoenix.
Yeah, I had someone yesterday. He comes up and he goes, "Where do I go for Key Lime Airlines?" And I was like,
And you say, I know a lot about travel aviation because I do a podcast.
Imaginary land.
But no, I was like, you can Google it. There's finally, after me and a coworker were all looking, he goes, "I think it's a Terminal 3." And we were like, "Then why are you laughing now? Just go."
You better run. That's what those do. I told you that she has too many stuff.
There's too many chiefs on this podcast.
All right, so which one should we do for this one?
Which one?
On this episode.
What are we doing?
That's why I just read them off. So which
You
one's
just
good?
tell us what. So you want to be chief?
I like cheese.
I like cheese. So do you.
Cheese.
Why don't you bring up the stowaways and let's talk about it?